try!
You're looking to bring back some experience there, Kyle and Aiden, Jordan, Jared?
Yeah, some guys coming back. We've spoken a bit about it this year in terms of the rotation. Those guys have had a nice little rest and they're coming back in after a bye and maybe a week off or half a week off in terms of sitting on the bench. So those guys are nice and fresh coming back in, and then just giving some other guys an opportunity to freshen up. So we used the opportunity before the bye to freshen some guys up so that they had a 2-week freshen up, and we're using some guys this week. We're giving those guys an opportunity to freshen up with a 2-week break for them.
They've made 5 changes as well on the team. The Rebels, and obviously they're on a bit of a roll at the moment, 6 in a row. So they're in pretty good form.
Yeah, they're in good form. They're playing some good footy. I think they've been lucky with a few games this year, but overall they're a very dangerous attacking side. They've let some points in throughout the year, and there's certainly some opportunities against them. And yeah, with a few changes, it's always tough for the South African teams when they have to come and tour Australia and New Zealand, and halfway through this tour now, and making a couple of changes to probably keep their guys nice and fresh. So we're expecting a really physical, high-paced game this weekend.
And like they haven't found a place for the clerk at halfback, given he is the Springbok halfback, so they've obviously got some depth there. They've got a very mobile back row. They're a side that are hard to play against, aren't they? Yanchus fly half, Coatsy at fullback.
Yeah, I think when they're on their game and they've got plenty of time, they're very dangerous. Cronje at halfback and Yanchus at 5'8". And then, there's a number of Springboks throughout their team, and guys who probably should be in the Springboks. So we're well aware of the threats that they pose, but for us it's about making sure that we're on top of our game.
To be on top, so that you remain on top too, to a certain degree, of the Australian Conference. Is that in the back of your mind? You've just got to stay ahead of the Waratahs?
I haven't spoken about it this week at all, actually. We know where we sit on the ladder. 3 wins is not good enough for us. We've lost our last 3 games, and we've had a really good focus this week. I think last week was a timely bye for us, gave the guys a nice freshen up, and there's been some really good intensity at training this week. So our focus, like every week, is to win the game that's in front of us and not worry about the ladder.
Tour around the world with a win?
Yeah, we're not even thinking about the tour at this stage. We're just, it's another home game for us, and like I said, we're a little bit disappointed that we've lost our last 3 games. We know that there's a bit of travel. We're not travelling to Africa until Monday, so there's plenty of time for the boys to focus on that trip, playing on the Friday night this week. And we'll have a training run here on the Sunday before we head out on the Monday, so there's plenty of time to prep for games down the track. Our focus this week is solely on this game.
Having Kyle back, are you surprised he's back so quickly from the busted hand?
Yeah, I think that's the expected time frame. Probably going back 2 weeks, you had a fair bit of swelling in that hand, but it's come down nicely over the last 2 weeks, and got into the action a little bit last week, and then has had a really good week this week with the team. And I think it's just time. It's the right time for him to come back in. We're not rushing it or anything like that. The hand is healed fully, and like I said, he's had a good week with us.
What are you hoping he gives the midfield there for you guys?
I think if you look at our game, we certainly rely on a couple of playmakers out on the field. So Futz has been doing the bulk of that over the last couple of weeks. Having Kyle back out there will certainly ease the pressure on Futz a little bit. But then just the general skills that Kyle has. He's got a great kicking game, passing game, superb carry, and then very strong defensively. So it's the all-round package that he brings.
Benny A as well, is that a part of the rotation, or is that just giving him a chance to have a crack at starting there?
Yeah, it's just making sure that we get the right balance at the start of the game, at the end of the game. Again, looking at who's giving us impact off the bench and who's starting the game with impact. So, we've gone with the other combination over the last couple of weeks, but it's an opportunity now to rotate it around and see if this brings us a bit more impact.
Kyle, for you, how frustrating has the last few weeks been?
Yeah, obviously I don't think anyone enjoys being injured, so the time on the sideline is bit of alone time, bit of soul searching, but we had a great rehab. The physios did a great job in the doc, and the surgeon did a great job, so it's been a pretty smooth recovery time.
pretty confident in it? There's no...
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah. And I've got a little pad on there just to protect it, but other than that, yeah, 100% confident in my hand and my ability to play on the field.
Sitting back and watching a couple of tough losses going into a bye make you that little bit keener to get out there and really have an impact this week?
Oh, always, yeah. And I'm just going to make sure that on the weekend I execute my role and try and do as best I can in my roles, and hopefully that helps the team. So, yeah, as Bernie said, this is a must-win for us, and this is our only focus at the moment, is trying to get a win.
Did you think you'd be back this week? I know Bern said this was the timeline, but were you more aiming towards Africa, or did you think you could make it back for this?
I don't know, the goal was to try and be back for this game. It was touch and go. The surgeon and the doctor spoke about it. It was touch and go, and then just depended on how the hand and the swelling would recover. And it's gone very well, and everyone's very confident, including myself, very confident in my hand.
I think guys have lost 3 in a row since you've been out. Do you feel like a bit of a lucky charm coming back?
Not at all, sir.
But how important is it for you to provide like 5 new guys, 5 new starters this week? How important is it for you guys to provide that spark to kind of restart things a little bit?
Oh yeah, it's just another opportunity to put the Brumbies jersey on and just play it and do it proud. So for them, I'm sure they'll relish the opportunity to be on the field and put their best foot forward.
It's a pretty important month in terms of the season for you guys, but also Wallabies upcoming. Have you thought about Wallabies hopes for this year? Got a taste of it last year?
Yeah, not at all. For my main focus at the moment is just trying to get back on the field and recover from my hand. So at the moment, my main focus is this weekend on the Lions, and we'll go from there, and the rest will take care of itself.
So you're making your return against a side that's just been churning out the victories. Will that be playing on your mind though?
No, obviously you got to respect the opposition and respect that they're a very classy side, but that's a great challenge, I'm thoroughly looking forward to that challenge and reversing some of the best players in South Africa, so I'm looking forward to that opportunity to test myself against them.
What has to change for you guys, Kyle? I know you haven't been playing, but there's been talk about some of the things that you have to turn around to get right, or I don't know, is there things you can pinpoint?
I think Bernie touched on it the last couple of weeks. We're playing really well. I don't think we're doing much wrong. I think it's just those little key moments that we're probably letting ourselves down, and we've got to play for that 80 minutes, there's little key moments where we're probably letting ourselves down, little poor execution or skill error or whatever it may be, and those are probably the little things that we might have to tighten up.
The attack as well, because you guys have showed that when you're on song you can score from anywhere really, but the last couple of weeks it hasn't had the opportunities. Is that something you guys really want to get that into the game against another attacking side as well?
Oh no, definitely, and we, as you saw a couple of weeks ago, we really opened the Reds up. So for us, we know we've got that in us, and for us, we've got to make sure that we try and bring that on the field on Saturday or Friday night.
Is that what you're expecting from the Lions too? Because they like to play that.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're expecting a very expansive game from them, so a very quick game as well. They like to play with high tempo. So for us, is to try and shut that down and slow the ball down as much as we can.
Thanks, guys.